Xiaomi's recent revision of the Redmi Note features a Snapdragon 400. After using the phone for a couple of weeks, I have gathered my thoughts on the Redmi Note 4G LTE. This is my full review of the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4G LTE. Before I get started, I'd like to thank Pandable for sending me a review unit. If you'd like your own Note 4G LTE, be sure to check the links in the description. The Xiaomi Redmi Note 4G LTE is available in glossy white. The back cover is reasonably durable, but did easily collect both fingerprints and scratches. The 13 megapixel rear camera with flash lies near the top of the device, and the speaker grill is on the bottom left. A silver reflective Xiaomi logo is centered near the bottom. The headphone jack is on the top left alongside a noise-canceling microphone. The micro USB port is on the bottom, also near a microphone. The power and volume buttons are on the right side of the phone. I found the buttons easy to press and well placed. The 5 megapixel front-facing camera on the Note 4G LTE is positioned on the top left. The menu, home, and back capacitive buttons all illuminated red. I really like the look and positioning of these buttons. The sides of the phone are slightly curved and make the phone nicer to hold with a single hand. Despite being made of glossy plastic and the larger size, the Redmi Note is very comfortable to hold. The device is 9.45 millimeters thick and weighs 188 grams. The back cover can be removed by pulling up near the micro USB port. It is a bit awkward to remove at first, but once the cover pops out slightly, it becomes much easier to remove. Call quality on the Note was above average, and I didn't have a single dropped call during the testing period. I was able to receive HSPA Plus speeds on the AT&T US network. However, 4G LTE is only available to select markets. The phone operates on TD-LTE 1900, 2300, and 2600, while the United States uses the 700 MHz band for 4G LTE.
To repeat these menu options, press the star key, or to end this call, please hang up.
The Redmi Note's 5.5-inch 720p display looks excellent and also has great viewing angles. Although Xiaomi's MIUI offers automatic brightness, you can also adjust it manually using a slide in the notification shade. What really impressed me was just how low the lowest brightness setting was. On many non-Apple devices, the low brightness setting isn't all that low in complete darkness, but the Note is an exception. I really appreciated this very small detail. I wish the display was 1080p Full HD, but the price point and extra battery life make up for it. The notification LED on the Xiaomi can be customized to flash many different colors. MIUI provides a built-in way to customize common notifications, but there's also an app called LightFlow, which allows more control over the LED based on the notification. The speaker on the Redmi Note is loud and overall sounds great. It sounds better than anything I have tested, and the placement was only a minor issue when I set it on a flat surface. The 13 megapixel rear camera was better than I had anticipated. The camera takes great pictures both indoors and outdoors, and color reproduction seems to be a strong point. What really stood out to me is how fast it takes images. This is really great for many reasons, and helps when taking a good image of a moving object. I also recorded a few sample videos. Running Xiaomi's MIUI 6 over Android 4.4.2, the phone is running some of the latest software. The experience is very different from stock Android, and the phone lacks Google services out of the box, which I'll talk about more in a minute. A lot of MIUI's changes are minor, small details, which were either really great or annoying. A quick overview of what I liked. The notification shade with the buttons to toggle between notifications and, well, toggles, being on the bottom. Small detail, but it makes sense. When I swipe down, my finger isn't going to be near the top of the phone, it's going to be at the bottom near the buttons. Another small detail is the one-touch flashlight activation in the toggles. It eliminates the need to find a half-decent flashlight app, launch it, and then press the button to turn it on. Another cool feature is Do Not Disturb. You can have it on a schedule, create exceptions for repeated calls, and also create exceptions for a specific contact. Another small detail is the option to adjust color temperature and saturation. While a few other Android phones offer this, it does not come in stock Android, and giving me the option to change this is wonderful. MIUI also gives the option whether you want it to pulse the notification light when you receive a notification. You can also change the colors for the notifications, calls, and messages without downloading any third-party apps. Mi Sound optimizes the sound based on your headphone type and makes it sound quite a bit better actually. There's also an easy way to manage notifications for each app. Is that game you just downloaded sending you annoying notifications? No problem, just hide it from the notification shade. If you have an always running app that uses the notification to stay alive, then you can hide it from just the status bar or hide the notification completely. I really love the ability to control what notifications I see. Android is known to be good when handling notifications, but MIUI takes it to the next level. There's also privacy protection, which includes a guest mode and the ability to lock specific apps. The pre-installed security app includes an antivirus scanner and various optimization tools. It seems that Xiaomi has completely removed the built-in data usage monitor and added their own. I prefer MIUI's counter as it not only shows how much data each app is using, but also allows me to restrict data usage for both cellular data and Wi-Fi. This is something every Android phone needs, and it seems sort of silly that stock Android does not include this option. The security app also allows users to block certain callers, manage app and root permissions, and also includes a power saver mode. The location tab in the settings shows which apps are accessing my location, how much battery they are using by doing this, and gives accuracy options. A long press on each of the navigation buttons can be customized to do certain tasks, for example, launching Google Now or showing the recent app tray. MIUI also gives the option to disable the navigation key backlighting or change the illumination duration when after they are pressed. You can also customize headphone buttons, enable an easy mode, create local backups, and create cloud backups with Mi Cloud. The recent app tray includes a single button to close applications and release resources. There were a few other very small details that I enjoyed seeing. There's also a few things that I didn't like. The launcher is my biggest complaint. Unlike a traditional Android experience, the default launcher does not include an app drawer. That means that all of your apps appear in the launcher and there's no way to keep the ones you don't use often out of view. Luckily, it is possible to create folders and customize the position of the icons, but that doesn't fix the issue of having all the apps in a single view. This is very similar to iOS, and it's quite obvious where Xiaomi found their inspiration to do this. Even the folder page looks exactly like iOS. Since this is Android, it is possible to change the default launcher and create a more traditional experience. Nova Launcher is great and has a ton of customization options, but getting Nova Launcher can be difficult, which leads to another minor issue. The phone does not ship with Google services. That means, out of the box, you won't have access to apps like Gmail, Google Maps, Google Now, and the Google Play Store. Fortunately, after creating a Mi account, an app called Google Installer can be downloaded from the Xiaomi market. The app installs the Google Play Store and Google services, giving users access to the Google apps. If you don't wish to use the Google Play Store, you can also install other app stores, like the Amazon App Store. I don't have anything against the Xiaomi market, the apps are just targeted towards the Chinese market. The Google Apps hurdle isn't much of an issue, but I think it is important to mention it. While many of the pre-installed apps are useful, some are not localized and only display in Chinese. Since they are pre-installed, some cannot be easily removed. So, all in all, there are a few things about MIUI that I didn't really like, but all these issues can be resolved pretty quickly and easily. Xiaomi's MIUI is really good, but it's not perfect. Do I prefer it over stock Android? Actually, yes. MIUI offers a lot of control over many aspects of the experience. It would certainly take me some time to get used to it, and the first thing to go would be that launcher, but it's a switch I'd be comfortable with. The Note 4G LTE is powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 400, specifically the MSM8928. It's quad-core and clocked at 1.6 GHz. An Antutu benchmark reveals a score of 18,830. Ironically, the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3G, powered by the MediaTek MTK6592, actually ranks higher on the list, with a score of 27,319. It's going to be difficult to notice slower performance on this phone unless you compare it directly with a faster phone. I should note that it is a low-power chip, meaning that this is more focused on conserving battery life than having excellent performance. On a positive note, there is 2 GB of memory for multitasking. It doesn't have any issues carrying out daily tasks, although games were slightly slower to load and frequently dropped frames. GPU-intensive 3D games like Asphalt 8 Airborne are playable, however the frame rate is often lower than average. In Asphalt 8, the frame rate averaged about 20 to 25 frames per second, which is pretty low by today's standards. The Redmi Note 4G LTE includes 8 GB of internal storage. The micro SD card expansion slot supports up to 64 GB, however, MIUI does not allow apps to be moved to the micro SD card. This means that you will be stuck with less than 5 GB of internal storage for apps and games. I did test GPS with the Xiaomi and had no issues whatsoever. The GPS lock was fast and accurate, which is to be expected with any modern smartphone. Battery life on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4G LTE was excellent. Thanks to the phone's larger size, the battery is a pretty large capacity, 3100 mAh to be exact. Combined with the 720p screen resolution and low-power CPU, the Note 4G LTE easily lasted throughout a full day of moderate to heavy use. With light use, it would last 2 to 3 days, which is pretty impressive. Even if you do start to run out of battery, there are a few battery-saving options that I discussed earlier. This is easily one of the best phones for long battery life, even rivaling phones like the THL 4400. If you purchase the Note 4G LTE from Pandual, you will receive Xiaomi documentation, a Pandual Quick Start Guide, a USB cable, and AC adapter. Xiaomi has made an excellent phone at a great price point. It may not be the best option for those who want a stock experience, hardcore mobile gamers, or people with many apps. However, the Redmi Note 4G LTE shines in pretty much every other department. It has an excellent design, display, speaker, and camera, also having a highly customizable software experience and long battery life. It's one of the best larger smartphones available, and may even be the best at this price. If 4G LTE isn't supported in your market, then you should really consider the 3G version with a slightly faster processor and better graphics. I have not tested the 3G version, but I would imagine it to be a very similar experience. If you are interested in picking up one of these Xiaomi Redmi Notes, be sure to check the links in the description to purchase on Pandual. Thank you for watching, and please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to see more phone unboxings and reviews.